Okay. Hello, everyone. So, we are going to discuss today about the conditional sentences. But before that, let's have a quick review. What is conditional sentence? So, conditional sentence, it is used to talk about result that may happen only if a condition happens first. So, that is a conditional sentence. How do we form conditional sentence? So here are the formats that we can use. So we will start it with if clause and then followed by the main clause. Then main clause and then followed by if clause. So you can use it vice versa. Now, we have four types of conditional sentence. First is the one that we discussed last meeting, which is the zero conditional sentence. Second is the first conditional sentence, and then second conditional sentence, and then lastly, the third conditional sentence. Okay. In the discussion that we had last meeting, okay, a conditional sentence or a zero conditional sentence uses this format, which is if clause in the simple present, and then the main clause, which is also a simple present tense. The main uses of a zero conditional sentence are it tells the facts which are generally true or scientific facts. So it means that it is proven already. And then another one is the condition always has the same result. So if the statement that you mentioned in the first clause or in the condition, the result that you are going uh, to say is also the same with the condition that you stated. Okay. Now let's proceed to the lesson for today, which is the first conditional and then the rest of the type of conditional sentence. So how do we form first conditional sentence? So we use the if clause in the simple present tense and then the main clause which uses simple future tense. So you're going to use it's either will or won't. So when you say won't, it is a negative idea that you want to express and then the base form of the verb. So how do we use it? It usually talks about the possibilities in the future. Examples, if it rains, I will stay at home. So the if clause is if it rains. It is in a simple present tense with the verb rains. So it has S. Then I will stay uses the future. Okay, future verb will stay. Another example, if I wake up late, I will miss the bus. If clause wake up, and then the main clause that uses future tense will miss. Next is, and if it's sunny, we'll go to the park. It's is the verb, it is, okay. Then will go, or or it means we will go to the park. Another is, if one lives, Paula will be sad. So if clause and then the present simple present lives with s because one is singular, and then will be sad, the future or simple future tense. Next, if I find your email, I will send you the picture. Find, simple present, will send, simple future. If you study hard, you will pass your exam. Study, simple present, will pass, main clause, simple future. So what are the other uses of first conditional sentence? The first conditional sentence is also used in making predictions. So when you say predictions, these are your wild guess. Okay? So for examples, if you stay out in the rain too long, you will be sick. So the if condition in the simple present is stay. And then the simple future will be sick. Another example, if you don't hurry, you will be late. So if clause in the simple present, don't hurry. And then simple future, the main clause will be late. Another use of first conditional sentence is used to express superstitions. When we say superstitions, these are fictional statement. Or in Filipino, ito yung tinatawag natin ng mga kasabihan. No, not kasabihan, but what you call pamahiin. If you look at the mirror at 3 in the morning, you will see your future husband or wife. So if clause in the simple present, look at the mirror or look, then simple future will see. If you buy a needle in the middle of the night, you will have a bad luck. If clause in the simple present, buy, buy a needle, that is the buy is the verb, and then in the main clause, simple future will have bad luck. Another use is to express future plans or the things that you want to do. Okay, next. If you plan to attend the wedding, I will go with you. So the verb in the if clause is plan, which is the simple present tense. Then in the main clause, will go, which uses future or simple future tense. The second conditional sentence format is this. If clause, the past simple, and then its present condition. So in second conditional sentence, we are using the simple past tense plus the use of would or wouldn't, and then the verb. How it is used, or what is the usage of the second conditional sentence? It is imaginary situations in the present or future. So when you say imaginary, these are the things that may not possibly happen. Okay. For example, if I want $1 million, I would buy a new car. So in this example, one is the verb in the simple past plus the use of would buy. If I were you, I would quit smoking. The verb use is simple past where, then the use of would quit. If I were the president, I will lower the taxes. They would stay they they would stay longer if they had more time. If I want $1 million, I could stop working. So the verb in a simple present or simple past is want. Then could stop. Then another is if I had more free time, I could travel around the world. You can also use could in substitute or in expressing present condition when you are using second conditional sentence. So what are the other uses of the second conditional sentence? We can also use the second conditional sentence to give advice, especially if you want to be polite or sound more formal or professional. The other is the important thing about the second conditional sentence is that there is an unreal possibility that the condition will happen. The next is the third conditional sentence. So the structure that we are going to use is the if condition plus the past perfect and then the perfect condition. So when we say past perfect, we are going to use the word had plus the past participle of the verb. Then you can also use would, wouldn't, could, and couldn't. That's, what is the use of the third conditional sentence? It is imaginary situations in the past. So it is more similar with the use of the second conditional sentence, but it is something to do with the past. Okay, examples. If I had got a gold medal, I would have been happy. So the past perfect tense in the if clause is had and got. Had and then the verb had and then the past participle of the verb got. I would have been happy. If I had met Susan last week, I would have given her the book. So the past perfect in the if clause is had met, then would have given her book. If the weather had been good, we would have gone water skiing. So had been good is the past perfect. Then we would have gone water skiing. And then if you had gotten us up earlier, you would have caught the early train. In using the perfect condition, you can also use this pattern. Would or wouldn't plus have and then the past participle of the verb. That is the format that you're going to use if you're going to have the third conditional sentence. So there are also uses of third conditional sentence. We have here the condition and the result are both impossible to happen. When we are talking about the action in the past which cannot be altered now, it means that you cannot be altered now, you cannot replace it. So we are going to use this format like what I've mentioned a while ago, past perfect, which is the use of had in the past participle of the verb. So another example, if you had told me you needed money, I would have lent you some. Then I would have come to the meeting if you had reminded me about it. Then, if I had seen you, I would have said hello. If you had bought a lottery ticket, you might have won. These are examples of third conditional sentences that uses if clause and then the main clause and then also the vice versa, the main clause and then the if clause. Then, how do we use other use of the third conditional sentence? It also expresses regrets or we wish to change the past. Here are the example. If I had gone to a better university, would have been better career opportunities. If I okay. To sum up today's lesson or the whole lesson for the conditional sentence, let's have these reminders. We use the zero conditional to express situations that are always true or possible. So we use the first conditional sentence to express situations that are possible or realistic. So if you're going to compare these two conditionals, zero conditionals are always true, while the first conditional is having a possibility to have or to be realistic. The next, we use the simple present tense in the if clause and the simple future tense in the main clause. The first conditionals are used to talk about actions or events in the future which are likely to happen or having a real possibility of happening, such as predictions, superstitions, future plans, warnings, and threats. We use the second conditionals to express situations that are highly impossible and are unlikely to happen. We use the other third conditionals to express situations in the past that are different from reality. So if we're going to compare again these two conditional sentence, second conditionals are more highly impossible to happen, while the third conditional is expressing a situation in the past which is very different from reality, or it is such likely that there is a less tendency that the action will happen. Remember, the second conditional sentence is used to uh, about unreal situations in the present and the things that are impossible and won't happen. We use the simple past in the if clause and then would plus the base form of the verb in the main clause. So just remember that second conditional sentence is all about the simple past. And then the use of would or wouldn't. Then we can also use the conditionals in expressing your stand or your arguments about a certain issue. So I hope you understand the lesson that we have for this conditional sentence, and then the other, or it's four types of conditional sentence. So for our practice time, I hope you are ready because I prepared some sentences, and then I want you to identify what are the type of conditional sentence used in each sentence that I will give to you later. So I hope that you understood well the lesson, and then enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you for attending. Bye.